I mark my golf ball with a huge, gaudy, smiley face. I started this practice years ago after a particularly rough round with an old golf buddy of mine. He had just finished reading an article in a golf magazine about a hip move that was supposed to produce huge distance in his driver swing. It didn't give him the promised distance, but it did completely destroy his ability to make any meaningful contact with the golf ball. What followed was an afternoon of cold tops and hard shanks and just a lot of screaming and club throwing. I remember sitting in the car after the round and thinking, man, what a waste of time. Let's face it, the only reason why I golf is to have an enjoyable afternoon. I don't have the talent to ever become pro or win a club championship or anything of that nature. I just want to go out and relax. And if I'm going out there and not having a good time, then that time is being wasted. From that day until now, I draw a huge smiley face on my golf ball to remind me to golf happy. And sometimes when I find the ball in a strange place that I never meant it to end up, like in a gully or by a stream or underneath a really difficult tree branch, the ball will smile up at me as if to say, "Remember, man, you're here to have fun." This is for the record.
Golf, the hardest game we love to play. These are the ramblings of three nerdy golfers.
Our continuing mission? Explore strange new swing techniques to seek out lower handicaps and awesome golf courses.
And to boldly swing where a safe layup would have been the smarter choice.
All right, welcome to a new episode of For the Record. We are excited today because we got to go golfing outside, and it was incredible. We've got kicking off the golf season, a movie moment. Cody's got a mystery segment that we'll find out about, this or that, a talk nerdy to me, and then a birdie bev.
It always kind of worries me when Cody has a mystery segment. I mean, they usually turn out pretty good, but there's so much unknown, you know.
Well, that's kind of the point.
Could go any way.
If I just tell you beforehand, then it ruins it a bit for me.
What segments do we have for the pod this week? Cody has a mystery segment.
My whole life is a mystery, John Paul.
Everyone's life is a mystery right now.
Is that going to be your autobiography? Cody's mystery segment.
And it's just going to be 100 blank pages. Well, we got to kick off, maybe not officially, but the golf season. We played on the course today. And why I say maybe not officially because I think the 15th is when we can technically score a round, but we got to hit on an actual golf course.
Yes.
Yeah.
And swinging a club outside is one of the most liberating feelings in the world.
Yeah.
It's just so different, particularly with driver. Swinging a driver outside is just so much nicer than swinging a driver inside. It's just not even funny.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, we all played. We all played pretty well. I feel like we did. There was some learning curves.
You're very generous, Eric. I do not think I hit a single drive worth a can of beans. Oh, on the last hole I did.
You did. You did.
We took one of your drives.
And on the 17th as well, we had a pretty good drive on that one too. Our home course, if you ever hear this, placing those tee boxes right behind the nets was the worst decision I have ever seen.
I'm just telling myself that they're not done yet.
I hope not, because I was expecting it to come back, because they put those fences up last year. They're giant fences to protect the houses on the road.
Yeah.
They put them up there, and they're literally blocking, I'd say, 60% of the tee box. Like, literally, the fence encroaches across 60% of the tee box. And I thought for sure they were going to create new tee boxes.
It looks like they
haven't.
have. It looks like they have. They're just not ready yet.
That's my hope because, off to the side, it's like, okay, that would be a good tee box.
Yeah.
And it still protects the road enough. But imagine, if you will, you're standing on the tee box. The right half of, like, if you drew
60%.
A straight line, if you drew parallel lines straight out, like about half is covered by an angled net covering the heavy slice onto the road.
And then there's a pole that comes off of that, like a support pole.
Yeah, there's a guy wire.
Guide wire.
That's blocking another huge chunk of what's open. So
absolutely ridiculous.
It absolutely messed up my tee shot. For afterwards, I just hit another ball knowing it wasn't going to count just to clear my head. I don't normally do that, but in this situation, we're going to have to play that course all year.
Yeah.
And I just sat up there and said, there is no spoon. There is no spoon.
Well,
it's so hard to get that net out of your head.
And you said, right as we walked up to that tee box, you're like, I think I got rid of the lefts that you were having really bad at the end of last year.
Yep.
That was the only hole where it came back.
Only one where I hit a left hook.
Because you had so much on the right, you just had to bail left, and it just pushed you further and further left. It was
that being said, it was great to get out on the course.
Yeah.
And actually see a golf ball like fall into a golf hole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was great.
It was fantastic. The weather was beautiful. It was cold.
It's a little chilly.
But it was sunny. And we had plenty of daylight. Thank heavens. Daylight savings time's back. We love you, daylight savings time. Just stay forever. Just don't go away again. Just
agreed.
We miss you when you're gone.
We've talked about daylight savings and how what would we do, and we were like, I don't care one way or the other. Just make a decision. No, I think we for us we need it on.
It's got to be daylight savings time.
I always like having a little bit extra in the end of the day. At the beginning, you're getting ready. You're going to whatever your work or whatever. It's better to have it at the end of the day when you're coming home and you actually have time to get outside.
And here's where it comes from. It's because I like my job, I like work, but I prefer recreation. I would rather recreate.
Well,
and I recreate in the evenings. I don't recreate in the morning. I work in the morning. I don't care if it's sunny while I work. I care if it's sunny while I recreate.
It's like I saw a meme the other day, and it was basically like the biggest lie I heard growing up was from friends, that a group of friends get together and have breakfast at somebody's house before they go to work.
What?
There's no shot.
I've never heard that.
No, from the Friends sitcom.
Oh.
Like, because they're always there. Like, they get together before, I got to go to work. And they're having breakfast at somebody's house, hanging out.
Yeah, no one
It's
does
like
that.
nobody does that.
No. That's weird.
Anyway, I haven't watched much Friends, so I don't know. But I kind of get the gist. Same thing like with Seinfeld. They're always in the cafe. And I'm like, surely they can't always be at the cafe because they all have jobs. They work late in the city. And anyway, yes, I agree. Recreation time is hard to find, and it has to come after work. There's no way it's happening before.
Yep. Now, I do have to say, we always worry if what we do in the sim is going to help the game and sort of maintain the game so that when we get back to the golfing season, we can golf. And I've got to say, I felt pretty good out there today. Eric, I think your swing looked pretty good. I'm going to say Cody has the hardest time transitioning from turf to grass.
That's
Absolutely.
true.
And I think
I know it.
I think it has to do with your ground force reaction to a certain degree. I also think some of it's just in your head.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
I don't know. The ground and me have an understanding, and we work on this relationship throughout the entire year. And then to have to go stand on a rubber mat, when I get back to the grass is like, where you been, Cody?
Yeah.
I think there are two things for you. One, you mess with your swing during the off season, and so then you have to get it back.
Maybe, because today, remember, we've talked a little bit how I'm trying to get rid of some wrist hinge
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my irons. When I did that, those were my best iron shots of the day.
Yeah, and I think you need to maintain that. I think you need to keep working on that.
I'm just saying it changes your swing, so that's going to change things.
But I think there's something to it in my head. There's something different about when you're on a mat in Eric's garage. There's like some restraints that I have in how I have to stand.
Yeah.
And I learned to deal with those. And when I'm out in the open, it's like, what do I do? Where's my restraints?
Yep.
Yeah. And I have to say that there was one element of the game that was way easier than I thought it was going to be, and one element of the game that was way harder than I thought it was going to be.
Can I guess what was easier?
Yeah, what do you think?
Putting?
Yeah, short game. Putting and chipping. We were fine. And normally in the off season, I've done nothing to maintain my putter stroke. I hit maybe one real stinker today, but I hit way more good ones than I hit bad ones.
I think the chipping could be a little tighter, but it didn't kill our game.
It wasn't like first round of the season bad, is what I'm saying. Here's the thing that I really suck at. Aiming. aiming the golf ball, like knowing where I'm pointed. It turns out is a humongous challenge because I have a pre-shot routine where I pick an intermediate target, a little piece of grass or a tee nub or a weed or something of that nature. And I went through the same pre-shot routine and I would pick out the thing. And then somewhere between that and addressing the ball, I forgot which object was my intermediate target. And I just felt unsure of where I was aiming all the time. And I hit a couple of shots just a little bit offline. They went right where I was aiming them. I was just aiming in the wrong spot. And when you're in a bay, you have this giant rectangular mat. It is virtually impossible. The only times we're ever offline in the sim is when the monitor gets bumped.
Yeah.
And so it's shooting everything left or right because the monitor's not square to the pad. But you always have that reference of the pad in your mind, and not having that being out in the wide open world. It was glorious and joyful, but the ball, like knowing where it's going to go is a challenge.
Yeah.
And our winter was kind of weird this year. We didn't have a lot of snow cover.
We didn't have any snow cover.
Yeah, but my point is, like, you could tell the grass needed that insulation.
Oh, yeah.
I hope that they can do some miracle work on the grass there at our local course.
I'm sure they
it was
will.
in rough shape.
It was in rough shape. I will say the greens were better than I thought they'd be.
Yeah, I was really
The greens
worried.
were in decent shape, but and actually the fringes weren't bad. The fairways are awful.
Yeah, they were
They're
pretty rough.
so tight and so hammered. It's going to take a lot to get them back.
Yeah.
Excited for the year, though.
The
Yeah.
good news
It's
is
good to
that
get
none of us really hits the fairway that often, so it's not that much of an obstacle for us.
How they generally keep our rough at our course, I'm like, I don't mind if I'm going there. I'll take a little fluffy lie.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know?
a bad rough. It's not
Yeah.
like the one that we played in Red Rock or whatever.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and that beats us up when we travel
was
and
a jungle.
we go golf courses that actually curate rough. I've always said, oh, I'm okay playing out of the rough. No, I'm okay playing out of rough up here. I'm awful at playing out of actual rough.
That rough was almost fescue. That was rough.
Well, yeah, and maybe that's the point.
I feel like literally some of those roughs that we played on that trip, like you could like chop into the ball and just leave your club there, and it would probably just hang out in the grass.
Yeah.
How long until the club is not findable because it's just overgrown?
Great round. I propose that we try walking next week.
Okay.
Did you have a best shot, worst shot?
I'm going to say my worst shot was on, I think it was on 16, when I was trying everything under the sun to figure out my driver, and somehow I dinked it 90 yards to the left.
Mm.
Yeah, that was a spectacular shot.
I just stood at there staring at the tee, and Eric walked over and grabbed my ball for me and was like, I can go get it. And he was just like, I can just
It's
tell
because
that-
I could see where it was. I was like,
Okay.
I need to go get it or it'll be lost.
I had an idea. I was just like, I don't know what that was. That was my low point of the day.
Yeah.
My worst was also on 16.
Oh, yeah.
I hooked it pretty bad into a house.
Oh, yeah.
Shouldn't have been standing there.
Hammered the house.
To be fair, there's usually a net there, but still.
The net was destroyed by the wind in the off season, and
Yeah.
they have not re-erected it yet. Additionally, let it be noted, we are responsible players. If it had struck the home in any way that was going to damage the home, we would
Yeah.
have taken care of it. It hit the roof. It
It
bounced
bounced
off.
off,
It's
yeah.
fine.
You know, the liability does not fall on the golfer in a situation like that.
I know, but I'd still do it.
Yeah. John Paul?
I'd still do it. Oh, the worst shot is the jump scare off that stupid net that I talked about earlier. The duck hook left caused by my inability to remove 60% of my field of view being obscured by an unnecessary piece of fabric. I was very irritated by that. Best shots, though.
I liked the very last putt to save our par
That was
straight
a
up the
great
hill.
putt.
It
Yeah.
was like an 8-footer, and
In the heart.
yep, right
Never
in the
left
heart
the
of hole.
line. Well done. I know Eric's best shot. I'm thinking about. I don't know what mine is, though.
I had a few that were pretty good, but mine in particular was we had about a 60-yard shot over some water, and I landed it within a couple of feet. It one hop bounced and stopped.
It was a 72 yard. 72 yards
yard.
out. Yep.
Yeah, so I grabbed my 60 degree and went to work.
Yeah, we got up and down from 72 yards to save par. That was impressive. I don't think I have a particular shot that was great. It was consistent. It made me really happy. Like off the tee box, I only really lost one out of play off the tee box all day. I was on or near almost every green.
What about your drive off of 11? Eric went into the ravine. I was just a little bit off the left. And you were just right in the heart of the fairway.
Uh-huh.
That was a really good
shot. Yeah, the driver felt good today. And it was nice to swing it outside. Like, I don't realize how much the ceiling gets in my head, but I have the same thing that I had to focus on with driver that I did last year that I noticed is that I saw off my follow-through so bad over the winter, and it's just allowing my body to flow through the follow-through and allow the hands to get high, and it just felt nice to get into that.
It really does. We almost need 15-foot ceilings to be able to swing openly.
So this is a new segment. I don't think we've ever done it before, but I'm calling it Movie Moment. And
surely we can find some dramatic music, some movie music.
So I don't know if you guys ever do this, but sometimes if I find myself like I'll when I wind down at night, my wife and I will have a show on or a movie or something, and so it's, we catch up on things. But if I'm by myself, the choice of movies varies greatly. And I was sick like all last week, as in like I slept downstairs away from my family sick because I just couldn't risk getting anybody any sicker than they were. And we tried to get my son and I both got sick, and we're like, maybe my wife won't get it. And then she got it right as we were getting better. But Happy Gilmore is on my list that I watch fairly regularly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I just noticed something new.
When you say fairly regularly, like how quarterly?
Maybe
Tuesdays
a little more
and Thursdays.
than that. Probably
Really?
Probably every 2 months, give or take.
Wow. I have never watched a movie that much.
But it's a background show because like I'll usually have the TV on when I'm working on my computer or something, and I know it so well enough that it's just kind of there. So I'm not actively watching it. I noticed something new as I was just laying there on the couch, dead, staring at the screen, and it's a scene when Happy just first gets on tour, and all of the crazy rambunctious people are on the tour, and they're making noise and everything, and Shooter hates it.
Mm-hmm.
And Shooter's sitting there asking his caddy, and he's like, what do you think we should do? And the caddy's like, I'd go with the 5-iron. And he's like, give me my pitching wedge. And then I watched the shot, and Shooter McGavin is just a little chip from right off the green into the hole. And I'm sitting there, and he's like, 5-iron, huh? Well, you're fired. And I was just telling myself, in what world would a caddy tell him to use a 5-iron for a standard chip right off the green? I don't know if I need to pull up the clip to get your guys' thoughts, but what was he thinking?
So
a 5-iron bump and run, maybe? I don't know. Like,
I think there's two possibilities here. But Eric, do you want to weigh in first?
Well, my thoughts would be that he was purposely trying to sabotage him or make a joke.
Okay.
So there are two possibilities, and I think the first one is significantly more likely, in that the writer who created Happy Gilmore knows almost nothing about golf.
Yeah. Yep, that's probably
why you gotta bring me down.
There's
like
a lot
that?
of clues that might be the case. Now the Happy Gilmore 2, those guys knew golf. Like they're it's silly and it's absurd, but you can tell that it's dismissively absurd. It isn't coming out of ignorance.
What did they do?
Happy Gilmore was a typical, Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Let's just make okay. That's probably the right answer.
However,
now give me the wrong answer.
The wrong answer is actually more interesting in that using a lofted wedge is a relatively new element of the game. And that the low lofted bump and run was incredibly popular up until probably the late 80s, early 90s. And so the 5-iron actually would have been a stock play as long as there was no forced carry. That was really common. If you go back and watch old like Arnie and Jack in the early parts of their careers, that 5-iron off the fringe would have been a very common play. And a few of the more seasoned players have analogs to that. Frequently, you'll see them use a hybrid or something of that nature. Now, guys have gotten so good with wedges in their hands, and even to the extent that the wedges have gotten so good in their hands. Bob Vokey has done so much research on bounce and how to use it and tight lies. Guys have spent their whole time getting good with wedge. But if you went to any like pro as an amateur and say, hey, what can I do to improve my game? They would probably grab the 60 degree, throw it out of your bag, hand you a pitching wedge and say, learn how to chip with this and it will save you strokes.
When I first started golfing, that was what it did. Your pitching wedge was your wedge around the green.
And so if I'm thinking of shooter in that situation, just going from that second less likely scenario, it's the same question we ask between going 52 or 58. Do I go high with this or do I go low with this? And so he's going to use wedge to go high, but if he's going low, it's a bump and run with a 5-iron.
5-iron bump and run is crazy. I've done a bump and run with like an 8, and that's pretty stock. Choke up on it, putter grip, straight arms, like a putter stroke.
I've done a million bump and runs with 5-irons because we have so much tree trouble at our darn course, and you have to keep it low. So I use the 5. I've used the 5 for little tiny punches around the green all the time.
I would say we use that more than its intended purpose.
Yeah, that's very true.
Agreed.
I have no way to fact check you on that, John Paul, but I'm going to go with the wrong answer as my correct answer. I like it.
I don't think there's any way to fact check that.
Okay, go back to your shanties. That's a.
How am I supposed to putt?
That's a regular line in my household, by the way. Tell people go back to their shanties.
Go back to your shanties.
All right, Cody's mystery segment. Are you guys ready for this?
Dun dun dun. dun.
I don't know if I'm ready for this. I have been working on a secret project for quite some time.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun.
What is this secret project of yours?
Do you guys have your phones?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to send you both a link, and
I
want you to click on them at the same time. What's O?
I said, because I know your profession, so I know you've likely built something.
So while John Paul and Eric are scrolling through kind of the little introduction, I sent them a link to a website that I've been working on for quite some time. It is called Links and Legends. We've gamified golf. Golf is already a game.
Mm-hmm.
But we, sometimes just go like, how many birdies you get? How many pars? What was your score? That's very normal athlete, conversation.
It's pedestrian.
And that doesn't match everybody. We're quite nerdy.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided, what are some fun golf ways that we can keep track of what we do to get better, but give it some flavor? And last year we had the boss battle book, and we had a number of bosses that we had to battle. This is that on steroids.
It's pretty spectacular, man.
Create an account if you haven't so far. It looks like Eric's in the middle of doing that.
I am.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Creating an account.
Yes, you'll want to sure create an account.
Is this going to be available to our listeners?
Absolutely, it will.
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
So sometimes when playing a game, especially like an RPG, there are multiple ways you can tackle the problem. This allows for some of that flexibility. Because, let me know when you're through the little tutorial text that pops up, Jump Home.
Oh, I was just admiring the photo of us.
Oh, yeah.
Saying it was crafted by For the Record. I find it just that it's you in the middle of that one because it should be.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. So a couple of things right off the bat. So right now you probably have a screen that has a lot of browns. And in the top right of your screen, it says Tavern.
Yes.
If that doesn't suit your style, you can go ahead and tap that and choose one of the different themes.
Oh, gosh.
I like the Tavern, but maybe dark fantasy is more your style. Or you're boring and like light or Clubhouse.
I actually kind of dig the Clubhouse.
Yeah, me too.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you guys would be boring.
I'm sorry. I misspoke because he said Clubhouse. I actually dig the Tavern.
Oh, okay. I like the Tavern. So, Eric, what's funny is that if you change to the Clubhouse...
It changes the wording.
It does.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, it does.
So it's no longer...
So if you're a listener of the podcast and you want to get in on this fun, but it's a little too much nerd for you, consider it a light version. The clubhouse is
clubhouse is like a golf clubhouse.
A golfer. It's for those jock guys.
Yeah, come join the leaderboard and do a tournament and do challenges instead of all the nerdy.
And if you're a goth, go for dark fantasy.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, this is essentially the boss battle book digitized, but it gives us a flexibility to do a lot of different things. And I don't know how much to dive on this on like the podcast, but I'm just going to talk through some features that are cool.
Okay.
Everyone starts at level 1, and there are a certain number of challenges that you need to accomplish to get to level 2. So if you hit camp on the bottom left, or if you've changed it, it might be something at the very bottom left, that's like your home dashboard, and it tells you your current XP level, your current level, and how many bosses you've defeated. And then you can see there's like a bar of...
Oh, you've integrated the birding book into this.
So notice that there are 13 challenges essentially available as level 1. You need to beat a boss 4 times. So the way that this works is that each boss has multiple tiers. So we have the Greenwarden.
Oh man, there's new ones on here.
There is. So the Greenwarden has an initiate level, and then like a standard, and then like an elite.
Okay.
And if you beat him at the simplest, like the initiate, level, that counts as a win towards level 2.
Okay.
So you can go about this a number of different ways. You don't have to completely beat the Greenwarden through all 3 tiers or whatever to unlock level 2. You just have to beat him once. And say he's too hard, there are 8 other bosses you can choose from. Surely you can do one of the things.
Okay.
And that'll unlock level 2. And here's what's great.
That's nice, because it means I'll never have to be in a bunker again.
Once level 2 is unlocked, you still can do level 1 challenges to get more experience.
Nice. So you can go back and grind.
And the experience goes on essentially the leaderboard.
Nice.
So here's my favorite thing that I've made as a part of this.
The Hall of Fame.
Well, there's like a global Hall of Fame. I'm going to send you guys a new link. So this is a circle, which is essentially a group. You can belong in as many circles as you want to be a part of. But it's like our own little friend group. We can see that when you go to the Hall of Fame, you can see the global rankings for everybody if you make your profile public. But then you can also see your circle challenges of how you rank against other people in your circle.
Oh,
Nice.
That's cool.
And my favorite part, so you guys are both in our circle now. Refresh the circle page.
Refreshing.
And make sure you click into the For the Record circle.
Scramble about.
Scramble about.
I created circle challenges.
Oh,
These
fun.
are for all of us to do together.
Oh, ho, ho. Only with a mighty band of brothers can the Holy Hydra be slain. Get par or better on a round during a scramble 5 times. We missed it by 2 freaking strokes.
We did. We missed it today.
Oh.
We'll get back to it.
But when we scramble, a lot of times we look at it as like, well, that's just a missed round and it's just for fun. We can score it.
That's fabulous. That's such a good idea.
Great job, Cody.
Cody, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
I
love
don't know what
all
to
the
say.
effects.
I'm overwhelmed.
Anyway, sorry. So I don't want to talk about it too much more because we can get boring. There's titles that you can unlock. There's badges that you can unlock so that you can apply them under your name on the leaderboard. It shows that this is so-and-so.
You can also download it.
Listeners, you
Yes.
need to get this on your phone
If you golf.
immediately.
Absolutely.
Like immediately. Is this linked to our webpage?
I will now. I haven't been because I just wanted to make
didn't
sure
wanna
neither of
spoil
you
it?
accidentally snuck a peek somehow.
It's
But it is quest.fortherecord.com.
it's glorious.
And it is live now.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Go there, folks. Go there. It's going to make your life. It's going to significantly increase your quality of life.
All right, so now we've got a Would You Rather. For this one, we have Would you rather play Augusta once or have Master Sunday badges for life?
I actually saw that on the Golf Digest magazines where I came from and threw it onto the show notes. And I was like, that is a great question.
That is a great question. And it's going to take some thinking about.
Do you know what you would do, Eric?
I think I'd go with the badges for life.
Yeah?
I mean, being able to play a course, an amazing course, would be awesome. And it's something that I will never be able to do. But being able to go and see the best players in the world is also something I'm never going to be able to do. But being able to do that and see like new players coming in, the constant change would be really interesting.
Not to mention those pimento cheese or egg salad sandwiches.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm going to go the other way.
You're going to play?
I'll tell you why.
Once?
I'm going to play it once, and I'm going to tell you why. Because I would love to go to the Masters one day, and we put in for it and never get it, and maybe one day we will. And I don't care if it's a practice round or whatever, it would just be fun to be there. Probably my perspective comes from the fact that we got to play Pebble. And I've been to a couple of other, well-known courses.
Yeah.
And then I've gotten to see those courses on TV later. And it's different. It's so much better to watch it when you've played it. I don't know if that makes sense, but every time like the tour plays at Pebble, I'm super excited to watch them because I know right where I hit every shot. I know I've seen every green. You know what I mean? I've worried about the same bunkers that they're worried about, but it's just fascinating to watch them play where I have. But when I watch something on TV, when you watch a golf course on TV, you don't understand its orientation. When you're physically there, you know the layout, and when you've played it, it just enriches the experience so much. Watching guys play at Torrey, we've played that. It's so much fun. Watching guys play Pebble, it's so much fun. I get a kick out of watching, when people play the old course because I got to walk it and got to be there. It's such a different feeling when you've done it. Plus, a lot of people get to see the Masters. I know it's badges for life. The number of people who've been able to play Augusta is very, very small. That is rarefied air. And I just think like you've got a chance of drawing the Masters as a mere mortal. Playing Augusta, no mere mortal gets to do that.
Okay, that's totally fair. And I thought about this back and forth in my head because on the one hand, being able to see some of the amazing Masters moments in person would be amazing. I think of this last Masters last year when Rory lifted a 9-iron like 200 yards to land within 8 foot of the cup. Still missed the eagle putt. But
the shockingly good shot,
the shot was amazing. And to be able to see something like that in person, one, I don't know if seeing it in person is better than seeing it on TV. Being there amongst the crowd and people would be one thing, but what would you really see unless you had like prime seats right up front? And I just don't know.
Yeah.
So I lean towards playing it once because maybe it's the old man in me, but I'm like, whenever someone's like, "Hey, want to go to like a sporting event?" I'm like, I can watch it on TV and have my snacks and be on a comfy couch. And I enjoy that.
Yeah.
So I'm probably leaning that way. That being said, if someone said, "Hey, here's Masters tickets. Do you want to go?" I'm not turning it down.
No.
Yeah.
And there's got to be something to be said for the ambiance of the Masters and the food and the excitement and the merch. And everybody who I've talked to who's been there has just had just a glorious time being there and being able to see their swings in person. And
it's like the Disneyland of golf.
It is.
Yeah.
It would be amazing.
Do you think that having, so it says Sunday badges for life, do you think the experience would get watered down?
I don't think so.
No, it'd change. Yeah, I don't think it would.
If anything, I think it would. You would find nuance about it. It's like Disneyland. I could never get tired of Disneyland. I just find different ways to enjoy it.
Okay. Yeah, that's totally fair.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I will say something sacrilegious, though, because as much as I would love to play Augusta National, if I could snap my fingers and play one impossible round of golf it's not the course I go to.
What is it?
This is going to sound crazy because it is possible, and maybe I'll do it sometime in my life. People are going to hate on me so bad. I think I'd rather play Sawgrass.
We can do that.
I know you can, but who's going to drop that kind of change?
We played Pebble.
I know, and Sawgrass is marginally more expensive than Pebble, plus it's harder to get to. But
for us, yeah.
The thing with it is that Pebble's incredibly beautiful, and I'm not saying Sawgrass isn't. The reason why I would play Sawgrass is because of everything that's happened there. Pebble has had a lot of history, but that's not why I love Pebble. I love Pebble because it's drop dead gorgeous and it's incredibly pure and it's a very interesting course. Sawgrass is a really interesting course, but man, the 17th, come on. How much would you want to do that just once?
It is probably my favorite.
I'm probably
going to
hit 8 balls in the water.
Because like Eric, you love a golf course with good scenery.
Yeah.
And good views. And like, I don't know how many times I've counted when we've been playing a course, when you just stop and you're just kind of like, man, look at that view. I can tell like you're there for the scenery.
It happened today on the par 5.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a park. You're going to a park. You're to enjoy the...
Yeah. No, no, it's not a bad thing. I'm just saying like, so in like John Paul's juxtaposition of like Pebble versus like Sawgrass, I think you would enjoy Pebble way, way more.
Yeah, I agree. I think you'd like Pebble way more than Sawgrass. I don't know, though, if I like Augusta more than either of them.
Wow.
Even the 17th?
It's got so much history, and it is. There's not a blade of grass that is out of place. It doesn't have the draw to me. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe it is because it's so darn snooty and it's impossible to play, and so maybe I've just protected myself by saying I don't like it as much as I do. But
so question, is it Augusta National itself or the Masters? Because the Masters is my favorite tournament to watch by far.
Oh yeah, me too. By a country mile.
That being said, it's not the course of why I love watching it.
Me neither.
That's that you just gave me a revelation.
Yeah, it's not the course. Augusta's a great course and it's beautiful.
It's the tournament itself,
but it's the tournament and it's the Masters dinner and
tradition,
the clubhouse and the green jackets. And
which,
by
the way,
special.
What's Rory gonna pick this year for his dinner menu?
Haggis.
I'm very excited.
Oh no, he's Irish. I'm sorry, that was probably offensive.
Wow,
he's Irish, not
redacted.
Scottish.
I'm sorry, Rory. Don't unfollow us.
Now watch. Oh yeah.
He's coming after you.
Oh man.
Did you know? So the last couple of years,
he's going to send Shane after me. That's what he's going to do.
My wife and I have made the Masters dinner, or at least like a facsimile of it.
Yeah, I was going to say you got to be somewhat discreet. You got to have some discretion there. Some of those dinners are posh.
It's one of my favorite like little traditions that we always do around.
Didn't
the Masters
Scotty
time.
do tomahawks last time?
I thought he did sliders one year.
Well, that was one of the many courses. I think the main course was like a full tomahawk
Obviously,
steak.
we pick and choose, not everything. Anyway, sorry. That was a good conversation. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's time for
Talk Nerdy to Me.
All right. I've got one here, and I think in the interest of time, let's do a top 3, but I want a power ranking from each of you guys here. And I was thinking about this the other day. I have finally finished my basement, as you guys well know, and I have held on to some old tech, anticipating that my basement was going to be ready. And I hooked up my old Wii, which I've kept for a long time, and actually physically hooked it up and got everything set up for it the other day. And I was thinking about consoles because I don't know. I get nostalgic.
You said old Wii? That's just in my brain. The Wii is
pretty
still
old.
new tech. Oh, it's very old.
It's
but like
very old.
Having said it out loud, my brain is
and
like,
that was
the
my
Wii is
revelation. So if I would like the power ranking, and you can rank it on any criteria that you choose.
Is this a
what
combined
are
ranking?
Your favorite 3 consoles that you've ever had? And if you want to extend it to 5, you can
we've
do
ever
5.
had, or just in
general. Use any criteria you want. But I'm talking game console. So I'm not counting your iPhone as a gaming console. Okay,
No.
It doesn't count.
Okay.
And nor is a PC, because I think PC gaming is its own kind of like genre. I'm talking about, PlayStations, Xboxes, various Nintendos, various other gaming devices that are specifically for video gaming. What are the best consoles that you've ever...
I think I have mine. I don't know if I have the order.
I don't know if it matters. It's just top 3, not necessarily in order.
Go ahead. Give us your top three. In any
not
order.
In order.
Go ahead. Top 3 in any order. And why?
Yes, I will absolutely why. And they are all related to the games I played on them.
That's fair.
PlayStation 2 is on there.
Strong choice.
Solely for Kingdom Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts and Kingdom Hearts 2 have a very, very dear place in my heart.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
And I also feel like it was a significant leap from PlayStation 1 technology.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it was backwards compatible fully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was an amazing piece of tech.
Yeah.
Right? Second, Super Nintendo.
Yeah, you love the SNES. You
I
have a
do.
huge soft spot for the SNES.
And do you know why?
F-Zero.
F-Zero is a great game.
Banjo-Kazooie.
That's the Nintendo 64.
Yeah, that's pre.
Which is my third console, by the way.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Why I love the Super Nintendo so much is that pixel games from that era still hold up today. Chrono Trigger, one of the best video games of all time. You can pick it up and play it right now, and it is a great game to play. It looks great. It's fun. It's immersive.
The storyline is
so
good.
Final Fantasy VI looks just great, even by today's standards. The 64 is on my list as well. However, some of those early 3D polygonal graphics did not age well.
Okay, this is what I'm going to say. I went and replayed Mario 64.
Yeah.
That game is so glitchy and so ugly and so awkward, and it is still so much fun. And I remember playing it the day it came out. Rand stood in line for a heck of a long time to get it. And it was the first time that I'd ever laid eyes and hands on brand new, barely released tech. And I remember the night we stayed up until 4 a.m. playing Mario 64, and our jaws never left the ground.
Yeah. So I've done that twice. One was Kingdom Hearts. Buddy and I rented it from Blockbuster, and we're like, what's this about? Disney characters? I don't know, but we heard good things. Square Enix, all right, let's play it. Did not get a wink of sleep that night.
It was such a good game.
And then the same thing happened playing Ocarina of Time on the 64.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, that's my top 3 for those reasons. But I still think like Super Nintendo stands the test of time so well.
Any honorable mentions that you really wanted to include?
PS1 is probably on there because I think that, particularly because of like Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
They did some amazing stuff on those consoles. And the PS1, I think a lot of people will like that console. And I remember growing up going to my buddy's house. I never had one.
Groundbreaking console.
Oh, I'm going to go play Twisted Metal. I don't know if you ever played that.
XCOM. Oh my gosh, the original XCOM was such a good game.
Yeah, so that's probably an honorable mention. Also, Game Boy Color.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fair.
The original Game Boy was impossible to see, but it was kind of amazing. The color with a little bit of a backlight and just enough color to be like, oh, wow. Those are my 2 honorable mentions.
I love it.
All right, you go.
What do you got?
Me?
Yeah.
All right. So, in no particular order, PlayStation, the original PlayStation.
PS1.
PS1.
PS1. You did mention 3 of my favorite games, which were all the Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9. I also love that it introduced a new console to the console wars. Nintendo was kind of just taking over the space. Atari was on the way out. It seemed like, there's nothing coming out.
Genesis and
yeah. Things were kind of going downhill a little bit, and then PlayStation came in and just reignited it, and then Xbox came in as well. But Sony was what really relaunched the console wars.
Well, an interesting decision. I wonder in my brain and looking back, and wonder what would have been like if Nintendo 64 had decided to go with discs instead of cartridges.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because the space, like a PS1 disc, holds like 15 to 20 times more data than the 64 cartridges.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. My second is going to be the Nintendo Switch.
It's good.
The games that have come out with that were just absolutely phenomenal. Breath of the Wild I knew it was going to be a good game. It blew me away. And I hadn't been blown away by a game since Kingdom Hearts. That was like the first one in a long time that I was like, oh man, this is so good.
Breath of the Wild on the Switch made me fall in love with gaming again.
Yeah.
I hadn't played in several years, really. And I remember getting it, and it made me feel like a kid again.
Yeah.
That's a good pick, Eric.
Yeah. And then the last one I'll do, I've gone back and forth, but because of some of the ones that Cody picked, I changed Xbox 360 and
the LAN gaming.
I loved that. The other game that really did it for me was the Mass Effect series, which was the first game I've had that I don't know if everyone's ever done it quite as good, with the ability that your choices matter, and not just in one game, not just in two, but 3 games. What you did mattered through all 3. It was so good.
Because you get a different color ending.
Yeah, well,
they did kind of converge a little at the end.
They did, but there was still
But the journey.
The journey was so good. The story.
Did you go Renegade or Paragon?
I did Paragon.
That's legitimately though. That's legitimately something video games have tried to do since the very beginning, and I feel like that might have been the first time that anybody really nailed it.
They did such a good job.
Yeah,
the gameplay's fantastic too.
Yeah,
the second Mass Effect, I think, nailed it. Really?
No.
Oh man, and even the multiplayer variant was so shockingly good. You've never played Mass Effect?
Nope.
I don't know if 1 is probably the most dated. 2 stands up today. 2 and 3.
2 and 3 definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'd like the
any
gameplay.
honorable mentions, Eric?
Honorable mentions. Game Boy Color. I mean, I that was one of the first games that I had was a Game Boy Color. I remember playing the Pokemon Red and Blue. My brother got Blue, I got Red. That was just incredible. N64 was another one that I was going to pick. I really loved that one. And I feel like the stories, the games out of that one, I don't know if there's ever been a game console that has had quite so many games that were just so good, such heavy hitters. Like not all of them, but a lot of them became gold standards that still last today.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
That's great.
What about you, John Paul?
I came up with this idea, so I've been thinking about it for a while, and I've waffled back and forth.
Okay.
But I'm going to give you my 3 in order, and I'm going to take one. I know you picked it already. I'm going to say the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
And put that in there. And I'll tell you why, because I've had more darn fun playing on that console than any other console I can remember. There are so many life-changingly good games on it, but it's non-committal. I don't have to lock myself in a basement for a month. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can play.
The suspend mode is amazing.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. And
being able to go.
The fact I can put it on my TV, but that I can also take it to the hospital waiting room. Do you know what I mean? Like
that is where Nintendo absolutely won. It does not have the power of a PS4 or
doesn't
PS5.
Matter.
No.
It doesn't have maybe some of the things that like the newer Xbox. It didn't need them.
Yep.
No.
It's got it all. It's such a good machine. It's such a brilliant play. I still haven't picked up a 2 yet. I don't know if it's got the same appeal, but
it's an improvement for sure.
The one has just been so good for so long. And like you were saying, Breath of the Wild, man.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. All the Mario games that have come out for it, just and even like the other little Zelda games that have come out on the side and the remakes of them. There's so many great fun games that you can play on that console. I just love it.
So that's your number 1. What's next?
The second one, it's going to sound schmaltzy. I'm going to go with the Nintendo Wii.
I think that's a solid choice.
the game mechanic on that one, it came out of nowhere.
No,
it
and
was groundbreaking.
I'll tell you why I love it, and I'm gonna go back, and this is gonna sound really deep, but like I told you, I plugged it in the other day because I was setting it up, and this is gonna sound, I hope it doesn't sound creepy. My Wii is a ghost town.
Oh.
Because my family and my extended family and all those people and Rachel's family all played it. Like, it was so accessible compared to anything that we played before. Anybody could play it. Kids could play it.
Yeah.
Grandparents could play it. It was more accessible than any console that we've ever had in the past. And they all made a me, which is the little avatar.
Yeah.
And I just brought up my little collection of me's, and a lot of my me's are people that are no longer with us.
Yeah.
That have passed away, that are gone. And it felt like I could hang out with them again in some small way.
Because when you're playing a game like Wii Sports, they show up in the background and they're waving.
cheering
And
for you.
I went bowling with my dad and my nephew and my mother-in-law, who are all gone, and it felt like old times. And I remember how many good times we had playing it, and so I'm getting a little misty.
and
Isn't that crazy though, that a video game console can make you misty?
Yeah.
But just such good memories coming out of that console.
I will say Nintendo absolutely excels at building experiences.
Definitely.
And I'm really glad that they decide to make and play the games the way that they do, because it allows that accessibility, and focusing on the gameplay is really what sets them different, like, than the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, my third one's going to be a way back call. You ready?
Yeah.
The Atari 2600.
Oh,
Did
wow.
you had one?
Oh, yeah. We did. We had one. It was the very first gaming console that I ever owned. It's not my first computer that I owned. We owned a 2600 XL before that, which was more like a PC than an actual gaming console. But the 2600 was the home gaming console, had asteroids and joysticks and Pitfall.
Ugh.
Yeah. I even had the horrible E.T. game. That's
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't it have
I
an
had that.
Olympics game as well?
Yeah, it had many games, and we had them, and it was a terrible console. Like, objectively, it was very difficult to play. It was super glitchy. The games don't hold up, very well at all. But I remember playing it with my brother. I remember playing it with my dad. It was like my introduction to actual video gaming consoles.
Okay.
And I think you always remember your first love, right? And so I think that's just a nostalgic thing for me. I have a bunch of honorable mentions that almost made the list, but that's going to go in the top three.
The original Nintendo's got to be on your honorable mentions.
NES
your
is there.
favorite game is on
My
there.
very Mario Brothers 3 was on there. The reason why 2600 X'd that out is because the controlling gamepad, which now we consider like the classic NES controller, I became accustomed to that, and I can still play on one of those old controllers like nobody's business. Remember how we talked accessibility?
Yeah.
My family couldn't do it.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is where like my dad dropped out and stopped playing with me. My mom dropped out and wouldn't play with me because they couldn't figure out the Japanese controller, and that was the end of our video gaming as a family until the Wii came out much later.
Well, and even I've tried playing some of those early Mario games with my son, and they're hard.
They're hard.
If you don't know what you're doing.
Oh, and I was principal of an elementary school, and we would play the original Mario and Mario 3 as go-to games, and the vast majority of kids now cannot pass 1-1.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we could slam that game out in a half hour.
We did.
It was a niche skill, and it took a lot of practice to get there.
That's crazy.
Okay, really quickly, a couple of honorable mentions and quick whys. The PlayStation, the original PS and PS2 have special places in my heart because they were from my formative teenage years where I spent time staying up with friends way too late and playing. The PS3 is very special because Eric and I have had some fantastic nights playing some very difficult games on that. You talk about getting in the zone. I was on the zone various games in the PS3 more than any other console that I've ever played. And I'm going to give a shout out to an objectively awful console that is glitchy and irritating. I'm going to give the Oculus Quest 2 a shout out because during COVID,
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
that console legitimately saved my soul because we got together and played putt-putt golf games, walkabout golf
Yeah.
as a network, and it felt like being outside with friends.
It was
I think
incredible.
It
one
was
time
so
Eric and
good
I
for my
watched a
soul.
movie together too in VR.
Yeah, we did.
In like a shared movie theater in VR.
In a moment of unprecedented crisis, that was a lifeline, and it's always going to be special to
And
me.
it's funny
because
we live within 5 minutes of each other. But yeah, it was still like it was such a weird time. Like, don't get together with anybody. But yeah, we were able to connect and play a game. And even the virtual avatars, like even though it wasn't us, being able to just wave at each other and be like, oh, hey, there you are. How you doing, man? That was a lot of fun.
That's what we get for being rule followers.
I love it, people. I love it.
That's good.
Thanks for going down memory lane.
Yeah,
with me.
that's a good list. That was a little bit more sentimental than I think we planned on, but that's great.
Yeah, that was good.
Birdie Bev, time for another Birdie Bev.
And in honor of this magnificent day where we got back out on the golf course for the first time in months, I have a Birdie Bev which we have drunk regularly, but never in this environment. This is my current favorite diet root beer on the market anywhere, but I'm interested to see if in our tastings
An official ranking.
if it comes high. This is a Diet Frosty root beer, and I won't say any more about it. I'll just pour it and drink it and let it speak for itself.
Other than you already said it was diet, so that is good to note.
Diet rating scale.
I got my score.
I'm good.
All right, Cody, hit us.
I took a sip, and then I had to remind myself that it was a diet. And I was like, oh, that's actually a good thing. I gave it an 8.
That's good. It's a good rating.
Go ahead. Good.
I gave it an 8.5.
Okay.
And now I'm going to say, as an 8.5, that's a diet scale. I've drunk this root beer a lot because people buy them for me as a special treat.
That's not the
birthdays
best
and
one.
I've had ones that seem to taste better than this particular one.
So you think this one's a little old?
I don't know if it's because it's old or just wasn't as cold. Normally I drink them right out of the fridge, and this has been sitting on the counter for a bit.
But it wasn't bad. It
It's
wasn't
still
unpleasant.
really good, but it wasn't as good as other ones that I've had. I was expecting to give this a 9,
Okay.
but I gave it an 8.5.
What about you, Eric?
I gave it an 8.
Okay.
That's solid.
I thought it tasted, I really liked the flavor of it. There is an aspartame hit that pulled it down for me.
For sure.
There for sure is. But like I said, I did have to remind myself, this is a diet. And I was like, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
And we've often talked about the distinction between a root beer that's like sort of a smooth, less carbonated, more caramely one versus a sharp, biting, sort of more bubbly one. This is definitely in the first category.
Yeah,
so this is a smooth, sweet root beer.
There's no bite. There's no
It's
bark.
not a bitey root beer. It's very, very smooth. It's perfect for a Super Bowl party or something of that nature. But it's not incredibly. It's very pleasant, but it's not very complex.
Well, that about wraps us up on For the Record for this episode. Thanks for stopping by. A couple of quick reminders. Quest.fortherecord.com. Quest.foretherecord.com. If you want to get in on the digital boss battle guide, along with official challenges and all of that nature, we would love to kind of get that spread as far as we possibly can. Of course, if you have any other questions or comments or suggestions, what is your favorite console or video game that you ever played growing up? Hit us up. Again, it's fortherecord.com, FORE therecord.com.
Like, comment, and subscribe.